Obi One Podcast made possible by BetWinner. We're back. And John Obi, Mikel, just for you, I'm wearing Chelsea blue.
Oh, yeah. What's going on
I
there,
don't know.
mate?
You wore it during the Stephen Bartlett episode. And
Yes,
I
I
thought to myself,
did. Yeah.
I'll just wear blue.
Because I'm a
Doesn't
Chelsea
matter.
fan, yeah.
And I don't know. I like this T-shirt. I'm trying to learn from the
Sorry, we're trying to convert you,
to sartorial elegance.
from red to blue.
wobbling. So we are great to be back with you guys. And, well, it's not blue that we're celebrating in this episode. It's all things red.
Or side of the, red side, yeah.
Red side of London. Sol Campbell, a man who polarizes opinion.
Oh, yeah, polarizes opinion,
in North
definitely,
London,
yeah.
that's for sure. We spoke to him here in Dubai. He joined us, and what a lovely fella. I wasn't sure what to expect, John.
Yeah.
I liked the big man.
Lovely guy, amazing guy. A guy who, it's not, like you said, polarizes opinion, not short of saying how
He sees it.
How he sees it, a straightforward guy, a man who thinks and believes he should be knighted. You know what I mean? So, and it's not short of saying that. Not a lot of people will come out and say, listen, mate, I think me deserve to be knighted. He's come out and said that.
He has.
He thinks he's not getting as much credit that he deserved. He's mentioned there, he thinks he's done a lot of things that he's paved the way for the younger generation, for the players right now. So for him thinking that for those things that he's done, he deserves to be knighted. I mean, that's his own opinion. A lot of people will say, oh, he is absolutely off his fucking head. But, but that's what he believes and that's what he thinks. So, hey, you got to give it to the guy.
You put it very bluntly there, John. I enjoyed that immensely. Listen, Sol Campbell's a player that when you came into the Premier League, I think he was at Portsmouth. So his better years, let's be frank, were behind him at the point. He performed brilliantly for Portsmouth. He was a warrior down there. But
what a beast he is.
What
a beast.
Monster of a man as well.
Yeah.
But, okay, so you got, not necessarily the Sol Campbell in his pomp.
Yeah.
But when you look at centre halves, and there's a lot of love right now for Virgil van Dijk. Ruben Diaz at Manchester City. Then we're into the Rio Ferdinands, your former skipper, John Terry.
Yeah.
Sol Campbell is a bloke that I often think gets left out of the conversation.
He is. And for me, that's unfair. That's unfair because he's done so much. Sol in his prime was one of the, back then, at his time at Spurs and Arsenal, when he joined from leaving Spurs to go to Arsenal, he was he was a machine, a monster of a defender. He was quick. He was good in the ball. He scores goals. He was strong. And for him to be left out of those conversations, the likes of JT, Rio Ferdinand, Jojo van Dijk, Nemanja Vidic as well is another one. Ricardo Carvalho as well. So for me, I think, yes, he's not getting as much credit that he deserves because for me, he was an absolutely fantastic centre-back.
So why? I think a lot of people, and I'm asking you, John, because I'd be keen to get your thoughts on it. Why is Sol not talked about in the same breath? He's an invincible. He was the cornerstone of that Arsenal back line that went unbeaten in the 2003-04 season. So what is it about the optics around Sol Campbell? What is it about him as a man, him as a player, that doesn't get the same, affinity, gets the same praise that the aforementioned players that you mentioned?
I have no idea. I think Sol has his opinion on why. I think if you ask me, do I know a little bit why? Of course I do. Do I need to say it on the pod? Maybe not. But, he is who he is, And he will tell you that he thinks sometimes, and it's something when he mentions about, him managing as well, being a manager. Because he also thinks that black managers don't get, the opportunities that other people get, that black managers don't get that. So Sol always thinks maybe his color has a lot to play with, to play with most of these things. And he's not shy of saying that. He's one of those people who's who's making a stand of the black managers should be able to get same opportunities as others. Again, don't get me wrong. Not just because you're a black manager, you should get, no.
Correct.
If you are good, I am that believer. If you're good at what you do, it doesn't matter the color. you should get some opportunity as everybody else.
Yeah.
So I'm not sitting here saying, oh, get a black. No, that's not what I'm saying.
You have to still prove yourself.
You still have to prove yourself. You still have to be bloody good in what you're doing. Then you should get it.
Yeah.
Then you should get opportunity, same as everybody. So no, Sol is he's amazing. But it's good to see him speak and listen to him, and his aura, his the way he comes in. Funny guy as well, and
Very funny,
lovely guy. To
very
speak to as
very
well.
lovely guy. Yeah, an awful lot coming up in this particular interview. We obviously go back to 2001. We talk about that move that shocked world football.
Yeah.
I still remember it as if it was yesterday. Sol strolling in, Arsene Wenger like the Cheshire cat, the big smile, the cat that got the cream. Sol Campbell walking in.
They did keep that one quiet, didn't they?
It was the times before social media, so nobody had a Scooby.
Yeah.
And I remember the audible gasps in the press conference room. I think people were expecting Richard Wright, who had joined from Ipswich Town,
come in,
to be the one that was going to be unveiled. Yeah. And in walked Big Sol. And there was the audible gasps of, holy shit, they've just signed Spurs centre half who's joining Arsenal on a free. It was monstrous. It was
Arsenal pulled that one off, didn't they? How they pulled that one off, nobody knows. I mean, to go from back then as well, the rivalry as well. Not now when you're about to watch a rivalry game and you see the two teams standing on the in the tunnel and they're hugging each other, kissing.
No, back then, no. None of that goes on. Sol unpacks the reasons why. And I know you were blown away by some of what Sol unveils and reveals in this particular interview. We talk about that Invincible team. Of course, we do life under Arsene Wenger. Yeah. I'm going to get his thoughts as well on the current Arsenal team. It's an exclusive interview right here in Dubai with the one and only Sol Campbell.
BetWinner is your reliable partner in the world of sports betting.
Right, it is the Obi One Podcast made possible by BetWinner. Two men who need no introductions. The man to my left, of course, John Obi Mikel. It is his podcast. Myself, Chris McHardy, and John. We are joined by, no question about this, one of the greats, one of the all-time Premier League greats.
Yep, definitely one of the greatest centre-backs, that's ever played. In the Premier League. Definitely. No doubt about that. And we're so pleased, so happy to have you here, Sol.
I'm happy to be here, passing through Dubai, but it's great. I know it took a little bit of time for me to get here, but I'm here.
Yeah, I think
it was his fault. Yeah.
All my fault. You are here, Sol, and I will pay you back for that taxi as well, I promise. But listen, it's great to see you. You're looking well. Tell us a little bit about why you've popped up here in Dubai. What are you up to?
Well, I popped up. I'm doing I've done a conference already, GX, and it's about phygital. It's like digital games and then physical. So they're kind of bringing it all together. And I think Dubai is holding it next year.
Okay.
So, and then they've just announced Kazakhstan the following year. So it's about the whole concept is like getting kids and getting people out of their basements, health-wise, mental health-wise, and get them out and doing the sport at the same time. So the main thing is, say football, it's like, I think 4 or 5 aside. You literally play and the same players go and physically play it again. Okay. And then that's how they combine the points together. So I think there's fighting, I think there's basketball, 2-on-2 basketball. 3 in a squad, but 2-2 play. So,
okay.
Yeah. So that's.
So you're diversifying is what you are, Sol.
No, I was helping promoting that. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So you're just trying to change the whole podcast media kind of thing, isn't it? Like.
Well, yeah. Someone asked me to come along and then promote it and help them out, and it's great. I think that side, that it'll get bigger and bigger for sure. Over the next, I think there's $10 million prize money now. I think in a few days, in a few years or 4 or 5 years time, I think it'll be a lot more, and probably a lot more sports as well.
We're in the wrong game, John.
Yeah.
We're in the wrong game.
Definitely, it's an interesting space. Yeah, and there's a real reason behind it. They do want to get people more out of their basements and physically kind of get out there and just promote that as well.
Is that the future for you, Sol? Obviously, we know that your last endeavours, management, you got to go back now some 4 years ago, the last time you were in the dugout. Is that door now closed? Is this the future for Sol Campbell, moving into this space and helping promote a healthy and active lifestyle?
Yeah, I think, do you know what? I just want to do things that I know inside out and combine it with technology. So that's what I'm doing. I've traveled around Europe on summits, football summits.
Yeah.
A couple of, Lisbon's got one, Seville's got one, Madrid's sometimes. I've been to Abu Dhabi,
There's one in Doha as well.
Doha, yeah. So I've been to all these. Sometimes I've just gone and watched, and others I've spoken and look, listen, learn kind of concepts. And for me, just taking all that information in, and then in between that, I studied at Harvard as well, sports and media and business course, just to bring it all together. So for me to put football and technology and bring it together in a way that the consumer wants, I mean players or managers or teams, that's what I want to do eventually. Yes, I'm looking for, developers and engineers. So at the same time, whilst I'm talking, you never know who's in the audience. And that's for me the big thing there. You just never know. So I'm just talking and finding out and building at the same time. Podcast is building, fitness one is building, and then the concept for the training is a little bit difficult because you need a little bit more investment. You need the right investment, the right engineers and developers to kind of grow that. And I'm happy. I built the main kind of back in London at Mikel. They've got a small kind of tech team. Okay. So I built a proper deck there, so for investors. And with the guys in Zurich, they're called Townnet. They do data. They've got a couple of contracts in France, but in Africa as well. Okay. So for me to kind of collect that data, that will definitely help the training module side of the app and the platform. So I feel I'm a builder. Yeah, I like to build things. I like things to last. I know the gaps in football, and I'm going to use who I am as well. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
and my knowledge, and I just want to kind of more me to the consumer. Yeah, that's me. I don't want to, in football management, sometimes you need 10 people to say yes, and then 6 months down the line, one person says sack him, and then you're sacked. Yeah. It's like, where did that come from? And so then you have to be lucky that the people above you give you time. And sometimes even if you do a really good job, still like questions and like you got to go. It's like you can't win.
So you think that door is like not completely shut, because I think maybe one day you might think about going back into management. But do you also think obviously, I know you've talked about it a lot about obviously black coaches not getting the opportunities that that the white coaches get. Is that something you still believe, or do you think that is changing, or you think that will ever change?
I think there's two things. There's a few things. I think I might go back into football in a different way, a different capacity. Yeah. I might go higher up and maybe run a club or whatever, or help structure a club. I might do that instead. I might see my kind of best attributes suited that way, so then I can probably help more clubs than one. Yeah. That's how I'm looking. I think statistically, you can't deny that, when it comes to black managers, not only in England, but around the world, you can't skate around it. You can't say, oh, they're talking a lot of rubbish. But if you're numbers guys or numbers women, you can't deny it.
No, definitely not.
You can't deny it. So there is something, fundamentally,
is there something you can put your finger into that to say, this is the reason? Oh, it's just that, are we not, do you think is it a reason that you think black coaches are, this is not my word, not good enough? Or you think it's just clubs don't trust
inherent racism?
There is unconsciously kind of that racism in there, but I think they just don't understand black players, transferring into management. Yeah. When you look at it, if you look at most of, say, people coming into football now, buying football clubs and things like that. If you look at them and their core business that they've made money, where along that food chain have they got someone of color? Mostly, it's China or Middle East or Americans or whatever. You can go on and on and on. Yeah. So where along that line have they got someone who's a manager's probably a CEO equivalent? Yeah. Where? Yeah. Yeah. So if you don't have that ever in your core business or wherever you made money and you step into football, that is already has problems. And then you've given your kind of, you bought a club, you're not gonna, my core business is over there, and then maybe I'm gonna give someone else to run it. It's never gonna change. No. Unless someone changes the whole pyramid structure changes. I think
black people own it, actually starting to own.
I think maybe you have to have a lot more black people from different parts of the world buying football clubs. I think that's the only way it's going to change. There's a lot of initiatives and things like that has happened, but nothing seems to be working. I think it's almost gone backwards.
Yeah.
In a sad way, it's almost gone backwards. I don't know why it's gone backwards. And then you see clubs like, say, you see managers who know what's going on. You see their staff. You see, where is your diversity in your staff?
True. Yeah, true.
And that's young players, and then also young players who've got jobs and they've played with black players in the past, friends. Then as soon as they get a job, they revert back to type. Yeah. And you got managers who've got so much experience should be able to say, you know what, I'll give him a chance. Yeah. Some managers have, but not many. But if you statistically look at, most black managers are, I think it's like 30, 40% more likely to get sacked in a job and not given time. Yeah. The statistics are out there. And what do you do?
Yeah.
For me, I want to do more technology, more football, and utilize all my knowledge and put it into something that can actually help players directly or help teams. And I can build from there slowly. And I'm not, if you don't want the product, don't want the product. You want the product, you want the product. And I prefer that.
Yeah.
And it's almost colorblind. It's colorblind.
Yeah, exactly. Because, we had Carlo Ancelotti on the show and we spent about an hour and a half speaking to him. I think he asked me 3 or 4 times. He said, Mikel, have you done your coaching badges? Yeah. You need to do your coaching badges. So, speaking to you now, is that something?
I've done it already.
I know. Is that something you're telling me not to go into? Don't listen to Carlo.
I think if he gives you a job at the club, I think that's great.
Yeah.
Kickstart you. What you have to do, I think, for what some of these managers in who've had amazing careers and they understand this is going on, it's like deep down, I might give XYZ, an opportunity for 1 or 2 years, get that experience, being in a fantastic environment, and then you can go on and say, I could go off and go to another club. And that's how you start. Why many of the really experienced managers, maybe have 5-10 years left in the career and they've had 20 years of unbelievable, amazing football management. Why are they not thinking like that? When you look at their staff, that tells you a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, there should almost be a responsibility on their shoulders to say,
because they know they probably won't be able. They're not going to get sacked as quickly as a manager that's just coming up. So when you look at it now, what you've just said, I look at the Pep Guardiola, who knows that
who's in there.
Exactly. He's
but
not going to get sacked.
He spoke about it. He spoke about it. But what's reflection of his staff?
Yeah,
you're right. You're absolutely right. So
and there's a lot of people like that. Really experienced, fantastic careers, got amazing kind of CVs, understand the problems, but don't want to let me switch my staff a little bit. I think let's give these guys a chance, a platform, experience, time in the grass.
Should that be dictated to by the authorities, or should that be a choice?
If you're a real footballer and you understand the world, that should be coming inside you.
BetWinner is your reliable partner in the world of sport betting.
BetWinner.
I've got to ask, news broke overnight. We are recording this podcast on the day that Thomas Tuchel has been appointed as England boss. Thoughts on that?
Well, hopefully he doesn't, rub anyone up the wrong way, because he's, I thought, at one stage the FA were going down the road of Southgate Mark II, just in the middle, no left, no right, don't rub up anyone the wrong way. You've got a guy who's he's not gonna stay in that lane.
No,
or maybe they want someone who goes left and right of the middle lane. I'm not too sure. But
what do you mean by that? He's somebody who goes left and right. So you're in the middle.
Yeah, no. Southgate's in the middle.
Right.
He's not rubbing up anyone the wrong way.
Right, okay.
Southgate's not going to cause any problems and things like that. So I was thinking, do they need a Mark II of him?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
He's not Mark II.
He's not Mark II.
He's different.
He's definitely not.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
I mean, he knows his football experience and things like that. So, I think he's a capable manager. So let's see what he can do, bring the guys. I just hope he, brings in, again, diverse, coaching staff.
Yeah.
These are the things that you got to start doing.
Exactly.
These are the things, you come in and, you got Carsley, you had Ashley Cole.
Ashley Cole, yeah. I was happy to see that.
From the under 21s and things like that.
Yeah.
Is he gonna do something like that? Like bring some, diversity to the to the management? Or is he gonna be stick to type and just want my own people and that's it?
You've worked under Sven, you worked under Fabio. Did you play any under Fabio? Sven, you certainly did.
No, he didn't pick me for 4 years.
Fabio Capello.
4 years.
What?
He picked me for 4 years.
Ignored you.
Yeah.
Not
4
one,
years.
not one phone call, nothing.
Yeah. And then obviously, McLaren did it for 2. And then when I think the European was going really, really bad, and I was playing at Portsmouth, did well, won the FA Cup, was captain there at Portsmouth, and then he kind of said, I need some help. And then that's why I got from 69 to 73 caps. But I missed 6 years.
Wow. 6 years?
Yeah.
6 years.
Oof.
So I would have was getting 80, 90, 100 caps.
You should have, it would have been, yeah.
Yeah. Nah, I'm not saying I was going to play all the time, but got completely, the main thing for me was like, you had the situation like in the World Cup, South African World Cup.
Yeah,
So he picked Ledley and he picked James Carragher.
Okay.
James Carragher read a book saying, never want to play football again, but picks him. And then you've got Ledley, great player, but he wasn't fit.
He wasn't fit, yeah.
And so they played the game, couple of friendlies, wasn't the best, and then Ledley played, he was injured.
Yeah.
I think Ledley, when he was on the bench, he couldn't come on again. I think he played the game and came off injured.
Yeah.
And I think he was on the bench, but I think he was on the bench for show.
All right.
Because I don't think he could have
come back,
on no chance.
back again. Yeah,
I think it was just a show.
Yeah.
No, I might be wrong. But anyway, like that season, I think I won the FA Cup. I was a Portsmouth player. Yeah, Portsmouth. Yeah, played really good football. Didn't want to know.
Didn't want to know.
Didn't want to know.
Didn't pick up the phone to you, nothing.
No, nothing.
And when you're told, when he came into the job, Fabio, did he contact you?
No.
Given all that you did for England?
No, I think the main thing, he said that he heard that, I had enough from the last World Cup and things like that. But, people have said loads of things. I don't want to play for international, don't want to do this, written in books, and got through the hearsay to the hierarchy, I don't want to play. And then in the end, along the line, it's like, can you come back in? Actually have a conversation. At the time, they're just JT in there, things like that. They're top players, but sometimes they're injured and things like that. I mean, Upson was on the side as well.
Upson,
all these kind of guys. It's like, well, I've just won I'm back in. Yeah, I've been through a tough time, but I've got myself sorted out. I've won the FA Cup with Portsmouth, playing top football, things like that. Got back to Europe. I'm back on song. You can't deny when you're a top player and you got back in there. No, nothing. So that's how it goes. That's how it goes.
Do you also think, I know we talk about coaches now, do you think something like that as well happened when you're a player?
What do you mean?
I mean, in terms of selection, if you, the
of course it can happen if you're in a domestic team and the manager doesn't have you, you might not play you, things like that, and then try to get you out the door. That does happen. Does happen domestically. Of course it does. Manager comes in, doesn't like you at all.
Yeah.
Happens. It's a part of football. You just get on with it.
Yeah.
At least I got a few more caps. McLaren brought me back in. We nearly got through there and should have beat Russia. And I think we missed a penalty on the day, so that could have been in there. But it's football, isn't it? It's it's amazing. But I missed 6 years.
Crazy.
Long time.
Yeah,
it's a lot, and you still won 73 caps for your country.
Yeah.
Any issues with managers? Looking back in your career, Sol, did you have good relationships by and large with the managers?
Yeah. I think the only time you have a problem is when, especially with England, is like sometimes you get a manager who's got, or one of the coaches are like another player and they cover up for them all the time. And that's happened to me a few times while we're watching a movie, watching a football one, and then someone does an absolute F up. And no, you do I remember me and Ashley Cole, we were sitting down. I'm not going to name the player.
Come on, name him.
But we're watching and we did a slight muck up in the game.
Yeah.
It was, I think we were playing, South Korea and Japan World Cup. And I think we played Korea, South Korea. And there was a slight muck up, but nothing happened.
Yeah.
And And then someone else plays second half, an absolute muck up. And the guy literally just doesn't say anything. So you're saying, there is like, and me and Ashley Cole looked at each other and said, well, you mentioned about us, but you're not mentioning about him. So you do get that.
The favouritism.
And you're just like, you know what? Yeah, I just move on, I'll just play my game. And, I had a good World Cup, but, it's...
You think that's got to do with colour?
Maybe I hope not. I don't think so. I think he's just protecting that player. He knew.
He just liked them.
Yeah, I think he's just protecting that player.
I wouldn't want to think that happens, but I mean,
That's all. It might happen. I know in other areas, but I think that particularly just wants to protect him.
Yeah. I mean, I need to ask though. I mean, you've obviously you're a fucking beast, aren't you? Like, I mean.
Still, but
intelligent. You've got to be intelligent. But
you're intelligent. You were quick. You were strong. You were good on the ball. You were very, very good. I mean, I look at the centre backs you played. Who is the one that when you look back and you think this is my best partnership?
I think for England, me and Rio kind of complement each other in England.
Okay.
I played with the most. I think with domestic sides. I think Colo was really good with me.
Yeah.
I didn't play enough with Tony. I played more with England with Tony. But Tony is a really, really top man. With Tony, the amount of stuff he's gone through and still played top football is incredible. Back in the days when, obviously they had their problems off the field. But, Tony, when you look at it, he's got through it, and he definitely has his ups and downs on and off the field. But majority, he's a winner. He's a top winner, Tony. And the Arsenal guys were great. Even Martin Keown as well.
Martin Keown, yeah.
Really kind of going for it. And then played a little bit of John JT. Was top.
Yeah.
So I played with top centre halves. It's nice. So when you get that partnership, that's what it's all about, And you need those partnerships all over the pitch.
It must be one though when you obviously I think you just said it real. Yeah.
I think for England that was really good. Yeah, we're just when you look at the World Cup, I can't just say Brazil. Hottest part in Japan, and I now know Gilberto. So that is the hottest part in Japan.
Yeah.
It took like 2 flights to get there. Because it's so kind of, just the middle of nowhere, but it's ridiculously hot. And it was raining. And then, when we started to get, obviously, when Gilberto came to Arsenal, things like that, I said, you know what, Gigi? I said, what about that time? It was raining. So we played Denmark in the rain, and we just wiped them clean.
Yeah.
So they obviously watched that. And I said, first day it was raining, we said, we're praying, please, for it to rain, to cool it down. And the Brazilians were saying, please, the sun come out. They didn't want the rain.
They didn't want the rain.
No, because they knew we would have been flying everywhere.
You would have been flying,
Yeah. And it was so hot. But then for me, I don't know how many chances they had, Brazil, but we just, especially when they went down to 10 man, we should be able to find out how to, unpick these guys. I mean, the day, on the game, like, you're so close, and you got Ronaldinho with a, ridiculous 40 yards, and then you've got, England, how we kind of opened up in the middle, missed a couple of tackles, really vital tackles, and that opened up, and then Ronaldinho does his stuff, and then it comes up to me, and I'm thinking, do I fake and go to Rivaldo, or do I stay in the middle and he just has an easy shot? I try to do a double fake, there's 2 and 1, best players in the world, and I just missed out with a stud. I touched that might flick into David Seaman, but it just goes clean into the bottom corner.
I remember that game genuinely as if it was yesterday. It's interesting.
But we missed a couple of tackles.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, and that opened it up.
Okay.
And then Ronaldinho with the
overseas
outrageous kind of goal, but and they didn't have many chances.
Yeah.
And they went down to 10 men for like 15, 20 minutes, and we didn't know how to kind of, open them up and create another chance to put them under pressure. Maybe we run out of gas, I don't know, who knows. But, and then you're in, you wonder why.
Because I did say, though, I mean, that your England side, I mean, you guys were, you had everything. You had everything.
Yeah.
A lot of people have talked why you guys couldn't Win it, like you guys could
I
put together and win something.
I think you need a little bit of luck here. Look at me. Like I've had two massive chances. One against Argentina in '98. I score a goal, a winning goal, and if you had VAR, there's a goal. I don't know why the referees come back and said, I don't know, Shield was in the way. When I head the ball, the keeper's alone. He misjudged it. He thinks the ball's going to him. Yeah. Because there's a lot of people around, a lot of players around, it hits the floor, goes in. Yeah. He's alone. He can save that. Use his feet, whatever. No one is blocking him. Yeah. So if you look back, it's a goal. Yeah. They nearly score with a restart. Nearly score. Darren Anderson makes a tackle and keeps it to penalties. But things like that. And then again, for me, I had another situation against Portugal. Yeah. That's quarterfinals. I score a goal. They're saying John Terry's holding the keeper. Keeper's no way. Ball spun the other way. I've heard it in. It's goal. 5 minutes. Done. Semi-final. So those things. Those little things. Yeah. I mean, you need those things to go your way.
Those decisions. Yeah. So you think if there was VAR today, England would have.
Well, we've got definitely further in the competition. And then that time we played the Dutch. And then I remember we got knocked out, and I went to Barbados, and I saw Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, and I at the hotel because they got knocked out after that when they played later on. And but they beat the Argentinas in that fight in the quarters, and they went on. But anyway, they got knocked out, and so we all saw him in the hotel. He said, "You know what? We was watching you, and we was thinking England's getting better and better."
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. He said England's getting better. We were not really looking forward to playing you guys. And then you get those out.
BetWinner is your reliable partner in the world of sport betting.
BetWinner.
Wow. It's interesting, Sol, listening from Rio and Colo. John's asking about your best partner. Just listening to you talking about Colo there very briefly. Gabriel and Saliba right now being hailed as the best centre-half pairing, not just in the Premier League, in Europe. We've spoken to JT and Ricardo Carvalho, Rio and Vidic. Is enough respect popped on you and Colo, the invincible centre-half pairing? Because sitting here right now, I would say no, there wasn't enough respect given to you and Colo as a partnership.
Colo?
Yeah.
I think what happens is this. I think people lose and get distracted and don't look at the quality. I think people, if you got loads of people on the internet churning stuffs about your best movements, about your best this, best that, and you got tons of people talking about X, Y, Z, it's okay talking about historical, like now. I think people are so lazy. If you just put things in front of them, amazing. 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 If I started doing that, then my narrative will change. Yeah. And I maybe do that, later on, and I might start doing those kind of things, and it will change. It's just perception. But people got, sieves for brains, and in the sense that memory-wise, unless it's in their face constantly, people forget. Yeah. Don't many people have been there, you talk about the quality and you show them, and they say, oh yeah. Like, for instance, I don't know, FIFA Legends. Before it's like, all playing, all the new players. And then once, FIFA went back into, let's get the legends. And then they start doing the numbers. Do you know what? He's played 20, 30 years ago and he's better than him now. Yeah. And then that's when the youngsters start realizing about quality, numbers and things like that. I mean, some of the numbers are not correct, You should be a bit more higher in some things, but they start recognizing and say, 20 years ago, 25 years ago, that guy's better than him now. It's 25 years ago. Yeah. And that's when they start realizing. I think if you've got someone in their face pumping out information all the time and it's on the internet, that's what people are lazy now. People just want in their face now.
Yeah. Because that partnership was a heck of a partnership.
Yeah, I think the players will talk about it, but sometimes I think you don't. You're right. You don't get enough respect. It's littered. Football's littered with amazing players not getting their flowers, getting their roses and things like that. It's littered, but it's down to people to be honest about when those players were playing. Like for instance, say Andy Cole. Look at him. Yeah. If you just look at what he's done,
he doesn't get enough credit.
No way.
He doesn't get enough credit.
And even Dwight York, he's a partner, up front with Man United. Come on.
Yeah. I mean, that partnership. Oh my God.
It's ridiculous.
Oh my God.
It's He's one of the best ever.
Yeah. In the Premier League it is.
Yeah.
29 goals Yorkie got in that treble-winning season across all competitions.
So I'm not the only one doing that. I think people just need to understand, and connoisseurs know, but it's the mass market. It's like, but then if you don't get players talking about it, then people don't, sometimes on their podcasts or this and that, they don't talk about it. But I said, when I was in the heat with you, mate, you knew I was a top player. Yeah. But all of a sudden you're on a platform, you don't want to talk about it.
Yeah. I mean, that partnership, oh my God, why it doesn't get that much credit? It's
unbelievable.
It's unbelievable.
It is.
Because they were fucking good. Both.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, I look at that England team and I just asked you now why, but one thing I couldn't understand why, you guys, you had so much talent. Defense, you were solid. But the one position where everybody think why every manager that's coming couldn't get Frank Lampard, Steven Gerrard, and myself, I think the best player for me in England colours, Paul Scholes.
Yeah.
Just couldn't get him into the team because sometimes he was played on the left-hand side, he was played. But why? He is.
Do you know what?
I mean, everybody says Paul Scholes is the best player that they've seen or played in for the England team.
England, I think he's definitely one of the best ever, Scholesy. Yeah. I've known Scholesy since 14, 15 years old. Playing for England for, 16-year-olds and things like that, and 15 and 16-year-olds. I think for me, it's just a balance. I think, like, when you look back, you say, how I look at it, and I say to myself, did we need someone, I think eventually we had like Bex was there, but I think if we had a left winger, because that was the problem. No one wanted to play left.
That's it, Barnby, Sinclair.
No one wanted to play left.
Really?
So no one wanted to play left. Everyone, it's like a graveyard position. No one wanted to play left. It was like getting kind of dizziness as soon as they went into the left side of the field. No one wanted to play that. It was like, what? We had left back, but no one wanted to play left side. Wow. I remember years ago, I saw Ryan Giggs, and I said, Giggsy, he played for you ESFA, so schools, and then everyone thought he could play for England. He could have played for England, but he said he just wanted to play for Wales. And I think if Ryan Giggs was here, I think we've got a really good left side to balance the middle. Right. And then you can put out the 2 or 3, you can pick 2 of them. It's like, do you just stay there?
Yeah.
And Giggsy would do that on that side. I think he said he had a choice, but then he chose to go to Wales because that's his, he felt allegiance, and I get that. But I think it's the left side we had a real problem.
Yeah.
Okay. Who could play the left?
It's true.
Look back to Euro 96. Who?
Yeah. That's true.
Who did play left?
Yeah, no one.
We've had an absolute problem with the backs on the right and things like that, blah, blah, blah. It's fine. The right side's been great.
It's great.
It's the
left side.
I think England really suffered.
Yeah, no doubt.
A proper left winger. Back then when the left winger was like Giggsy was top, I think Giggs is one of the best ever.
No doubt.
For sure.
Yeah. So for example, I mean, it's in the past, and Giggs, decided to play for England. Out of those 3, who would you pick?
I think for me, you would have, definitely Scholesy because he's more attacking in the sense that, and passing wise, he's just, he's in there all the time. I think for me, it depends what game. You got Stevie G, who's like up and down, is real force of nature. But you got Lampard when he gets into the last third,
gets goals.
I think just rotate them.
Yeah.
The easy job to rotate those 3 because they were.
I think you can rotate them. And I think the left side, if we had someone like Giggsy on the left-hand side, that sorts out the middle. No one wanted to play on the left.
Right.
Everyone's allergic going over.
You're right.
I would have loved to be in that meeting though, where the man said, "Who wants to play the left side?"
Who? Everyone's struggling.
Everyone did. Scholesy didn't like it, and then
everyone.
Nick Barnby, Trevor Sinclair, Joe
Cole,
Kieran Dyer.
Wow.
All struggled. So I want to go back. I've got to scratch this itch, and it's a question I'm sure you've had a million times before. I still remember it, Sol, as if it was yesterday. And I hanker for these days. No social media. The move to Arsenal. No one had a clue. I was sat there with a bowl of tomato soup. We're thinking Richard Wright's about to be unveiled. and Sol Campbell 10 feet tall, the swing doors open, Arsene Wenger's the cat that's got the cream, and the audible gasp from the media. I'm sure you probably still hear that gasp today, and you stroll through. Like, I'm getting goosebumps. I'm not even an Arsenal fan. Thinking back to it, it was incredible. A deal of that magnitude was kept under wraps as much as it was.
It's incredible, isn't it?
Your memories from back there, how did it all come about? Was that a phone call from David Dean?
I haven't got all day to talk about that. I mean, God, you can go on and on. I think for me, there's so much water of, so many stuff has just gone under the bridge. There's a lot of heartache, there's a lot of conversations, there's a lot of people who are being happy, upset. I think the deal was out of the blue. Yes, there was conversations. But, I went to Inter Milan. I was there. Was looking to kind of sign for them.
Okay.
And then that kind of fell through, and Ronaldo left. And then I'm thinking, well, okay. And then at the end, you got Barcelona. You remember when Rivaldo scores that hat trick, and I think Jerry Armstrong's talking. Oh, Sol Campbell was in the stadium or something. I thought, no, I'm not. I'm right here, mate. And they were talking in Barcelona. It was all just too late, with Barcelona. It was like lastminute.com, and I mean the top side. And also just came through because a lot of things have happened at Tottenham, and I left on the lowest wage ever. There was players on 4 times as me.
Wow.
And then they offered me a contract that was not like the top,
They said that was going to make you like the highest.
It wasn't. Then I found out because an article came out, and then I wasn't. I think it was.
So that wasn't true that you were going to be
top. Yeah.
Top
and then I think in the last knock-ins, you've got. I offered them a contract in the sense that 1 year,
okay,
and 4 years, 1 year break clause at this kind of rate, and most other teams were offering me off the bat, and to be honest, they chopped up this contract so much for me to get into what everyone was offering me from the bat. Was like, they chopped it up. I could have made, spaghetti bolognese with it, It's just unbelievable. It's like they chopped it up so much. I thought, God, I'm getting nothing here. There's nothing left. And like, to me, I have to achieve this, achieve that, achieve this. And like, and other teams would say, straight away.
Yeah. Okay.
So I offered them a contract and they said no. And then I was thinking, if they can sign me on this level, they can sign other players.
Yeah.
Little did I know, it took nearly 20 years for them to offer that type of money to other players. Like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And I think for me, I tried, and there was a big court case as well I had during that time. I remember it started from me. I was at Tottenham. We played Derby County away at their place. I scored the winner, 1-0, so happy. But all game, I think, what's the Italian player? It was called, is it Biano? Yeah. And Colin Coldwood were having scuffles and niggles all day long. I was thinking, Colin, just calm down. We're winning, man. Let's get this game over and done with, and we've won.
Yeah.
And then won the game, things like that. And walking off the pitch, and it's a little double door, and then it opens up a little square. At that time, the away dressing room was, as soon as you go through the door, it's there. And then you walk straight ahead, and then I think it's the left, and it's Derby County's place. All of a sudden, I've opened the door, game done. I've opened the door, and I've walked in, and all of a sudden, Collins ran past me, gone for Biano. I think it's a little bit mismatch as well. Like, he was this and that. So, come on, let's fight someone your own size at least. But then, the Derby County staff and players all jumped in.
Wow.
I'm on the side. I said, everyone just stop it. Something along the line like, get back in the change rooms.
Yeah.
I said that 3 times. I went in. 3 weeks later, I have David Plea comes up to me. I was just, after training, I was just relaxing on they used to train at Chigwell. So this thing has come back and someone's kind of got injured at that scuffle against Derby, Tottenham and Derby. I said, this guy's saying that you broke his arm or whatever.
What?
I was thinking, well, really? What? I said 3 things and went in. I didn't touch anybody. So he kept on going and going and going. And at the same time, my contract's running out at the same time. So you see how this all plays out later on. And then it kept on coming back and they're going to press charges. And things I think,
Wow.
press charges? I've not done anything.
And you didn't do nothing.
No.
And are your teammates sticking up for you at this point?
No,
saying,
because it's a melee. It's like Colin Cole. I can't. Well, maybe Colin's done something because I'm in his shoes, but I'm on the side. Not involved. Just shouting involved and went in, and then it calmed down. I just shouted 3 times, went inside. I kept coming, and then they press charges. I was thinking, what? Wow. I've literally done nothing. And then what happens is this: you get vilified in the press.
Yeah.
For something you have not done. And then, so this continued. And then George Graham came to the club, things like that. And I won the League Cup and things like that. First black captain to lift the cup at Wembley.
Yeah.
Fantastic thing. But under this cloud, I was still thinking, what is going on? And then once, I can't remember the day, I was having lunch. And the in-house lawyer came to me and said, Sol, do you want to get bound over? I said, not really. And I said, what is bound over? Bound over. And then he showed me these clipping of, Telegraph or Times. I kind of like this aristocrat. He gets bound over. He admits he's done it, pays the fine, and everything goes away. And I said to him, looked at him, I said, I'll live and die by my words. I'm not doing that. So I don't do anything.
Wow.
Left it there. And then it just continued. And I had to go into Derby County, have my fingerprints and things like that, all pictures and all that kind of stuff, hiding underneath the car. My agent then was taking me in there. I was I'm thinking, I've done nothing.
Yeah.
I've done nothing.
Wow.
So this continues. And then at the end, obviously Tottenham came in and got the lawyers and things like that, blah, 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 and started, pursuing this. This is a whole year.
So they supported you?
Spurs? Yeah, supported, yeah, whole year. Then, closer to the end of the season, all of a sudden, they said it was going to, I think it's like 2 weeks, 3 weeks to the trial. 3 weeks, 4 weeks to the trial. They pulled out. We're not funding anymore.
Wow.
We're pulling out.
Who pulled out?
Tottenham.
Spurs?
Yeah.
It's built their funding and support, essentially.
Yeah.
Oof.
So I had to quickly, I think I had a month or 3 weeks, I had to quickly get my own lawyer involved to continue the trial and the papers and get me to trial. Within 1 week, the case has fallen apart.
Wow.
Because what was happening when he started reading the papers, it said, one person said you was in front, one person said you was there, one person said you were over there. It was all contradicting itself.
So within 1 week of you getting your own lawyer, the whole thing
collapsed. So, and then when I started looking through the paperwork, the guy did get injured. The steward did get a broken arm.
But it wasn't you.
But 4:45 finish, probably 10-5. He broke his arm. But he broke his arm in the friggin' morning.
Wow.
And on the hospital reports, there's a Derby County player, I'm not going to say who, scrubbed out, but you could see his name, and they put a Derby County player in there.
Oh my God.
The law firm would have seen that 9 months ago.
What?
They kept that going for over 9 months. Whilst my contract's running out.
So
basically they want to leverage.
They want to leverage.
Get you on the cheap.
Oh my God.
They want to leverage.
Cheaper.
9 months.
9 months.
Fingerprints, things like that, everything, pictures, and they got the piece of paper, doctor report, broken arm, Derby County player. I'm not going to say which colour he is. He's a quite well-known player. He's not living in this country anymore. Derby County player.
So,
And that's why it dropped in like 1 week.
and from that moment, Sol, you're obviously joining the dots. You're thinking, why on earth would I stay here?
Yeah.
Why would I stay here?
9 months. Actually went longer than that.
Crazy.
Funny enough, I obviously won the League Cup and then one of my best scoring years. But I was under severe pressure and I was a young man. Young boy. Young man. And that's what
For
they're
the
doing.
club to go through all that just to get leverage over you, that is insane.
Well, God knows what else they're trying to do. Who knows?
How did the life change? Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, the fans know this because obviously the hate is still up till today.
I think for me, when you see that, I think you got to explain. You got to explain like, it happens all over the world. You got, say, look at Eto'o. Eto'o was youth team in Real Madrid and then goes Barcelona. You got Enrique, he does it as well, Barcelona and Real Madrid. You've got one of the Laudrup brothers doing it. You've got Figo, you've got Seedorf, you've got Zlatan, you've got who else?
Brazilian Ronaldo.
Brazilian Ronaldo. You know, you've got a lot of players. You got Miller at, I think it started Rangers, Celtic, Rangers. You got Johnson, the same thing as well in Scotland. That's religion. That's another level. You know, you got a lot of people doing it. You got David Bentley. You got William Gallas. You've got Adebayo.
Yeah. True.
What, you know, you say to yourself, are they singing songs about them?
No.
Look on, are you singing songs about someone who's left 25, a quarter of a century ago? I mean, everyone's moved on now.
Yeah.
Is it held by racial? You know, people were allowed to run their mouths off. And then you got a situation that the FA, Premier League, PFA didn't help me in those moments. No one helped me. No one helped me. No one.
Arsenal?
To a certain extent, not really.
I think
No one really.
Yeah, but I think
but
the FA
you want the FA, you want the Premier League, you want the
Premier
PFA.
League, yeah.
No one turned up.
Yeah.
All lip service. No one turned up to help me. No one. I had to deal with myself, get through all that crap myself, and play football at the same time, high level football. So I was under unbelievable pressure. You guys would know,
Yeah.
and still won. And still human, not lighting everybody, because you could quite easily be like that.
Yeah.
And then the magnitudes and unbelievable performances I did. You say, well, if you had that pressure, you're not playing football, mate.
Yeah.
You got all these other guys, all these other players. Well, if you had that ridiculous amount of pressure, that's even more than transfer.
Yeah. That's insane.
You're not playing. You're not playing the top football that I played. Yeah, I had to deal with a lot, but that's the thing. So you put all those things in there. You say to yourself, is it held? Is the underbelly? If you're under 30, under 25, what are you doing? I wasn't even born. You wasn't born. You're shouting rubbish at Tottenham. You were born. What are you doing?
Yeah.
You were born.
Yeah.
You still like something in your parents' head.
That's been ingrained
Swimming around or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, what are you doing? Pass on like I think it for me. And if you're black, if you're not white, and you're still doing that, you're confused. It's like when you go into your own world and you got pressures there. You got this problem, that problem. You can't get in because of your color, and you're saying you want to look at me, mate. If you see what's happening, if you just stuck out, what's happening around the world, it's come on.
Yeah, but it's crazy.
But then you got other players who've done it and they're not doing the same thing.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, because I was reading about that yesterday, and you know, did your brother actually was he in the crowd as well?
He's a Tottenham fan. He's a
Shouting.
He's a Tottenham fan. I don't think he's shouting that, but he's a Tottenham fan. Yeah, he's a Tottenham fan. Yeah.
You don't think he was shouting that, but he was there.
I always listen to all the nonsense. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think people don't realise to play in that game, they don't realise how strong you had to be. I don't think people can actually imagine
mentally
what I had to do to get through that game. I don't think people realise. People talk about it, but you're not living it. You're not in my shoes. You're not what I had to deal with. I had to keep calm and play really top football. Everyone baying, everyone hoping, praying that I muck up. Praying, wishing, hoping, and still have to play top football. Under that severe pressure. And I mean severe.
How did it change you, Sol? That whole experience.
I think for me, I could have turned into a different human being, and I didn't. Could easily. I could be like hating the world and things like that, all those kind of things, but I didn't. And that's commendable. You know, to get through that alone, you know, no one helping me. You know, my family a little bit here and there, but no authorities helping me.
Do you think that the world was against you? Let's put it that way.
Not the world,
but you know what I mean? Like, do you think everybody around Spurs, everybody like the fans?
I think people connected.
Exactly.
I think people connected, but also some people jumping on the bandwagon because they wanted to, you know, see where it all ends up. Let's see what kind of pressure. Let's see where it ends up. You know, back then you had, you know, the press and things like that. You know, you had all the tapping up and things like that. Had a lot of power. The press, the media, we can make you, we can break you.
Yeah.
You know, tapping people up and things like that, listening to conversations and there's so much power.
Power back then, exactly.
They've still got power now, but I think it's even that because now players got the platforms now. And get the real story out. But back then, no. They were like, you know, judge, jury, and executioners.
Yeah. When you look on it now, and I'm conscious of time, so we've got another 10 minutes with you. When you look back at it now, no regrets. You made that decision for you. And I mean, obviously you had success on the pitch.
I think when you look at the team I left to this team I went to, there's no comparison. It's a different universe. Different universe. You know, and then what I won and how I did it, quality-wise. You know, at one stage, you know, I got best team at the World Cup and best team at the Euros 2004. Pound for pound, I was the best defender for a couple of years.
No doubt.
Couple of years, it's out there. Boom, boom. Statistically, everything out there. So, and I know, obviously, do I want to be loved? I mean, everyone wants to be loved.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But I was a young boy when I made that decision. I wasn't like 30, 31, 32. I was young, hungry, want to make it, things like that. Those things, they drove me to kind of, you know, want to be successful. There's some players, you know, keeping everyone happy, and in the end, might make some money, but don't win anything. So, no, I want to look back and say, hey, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Part of the Invincibles.
Yeah, part of the Invincibles.
Over 100-year record.
Bet Winner is your reliable partner in the world of sport betting.
Bet Winner.
I mean, how did you guys go through that gaming week in, week out, knowing, I mean, we both know how difficult the Premier League is.
Yeah.
But to go unbeaten the whole fucking season, how did you guys do that? I mean, turn up every weekend and thinking, is this the day we're going to get beaten? Or is it the day we want to keep it going?
I think when it got to 30 odd, you start to say, because we did 30 the year before though.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's 30 the year before.
Was it?
Yeah. People forget that. It's like, it's a fluke. It's a fluke, mate. We did 30 the year before, in season 4. You check, it's like 30 games.
Wow.
30 games the year before.
2002-3, that is remarkable. And so for you guys then, you already know you're capable, but it's interesting. Get past the 30 game mark and you now start looking at one another.
Yeah, because they're looking like we just need a few more games to win. You're not thinking we need to go unbeaten. I was like Thierry's always thinking, hey, you know, we do this. Thierry's always thinking about these figures. And you're always going to get players like that. And he had his eye on it as well. For me, it was after, once we did it, it's like, how long can we go on for?
Wow.
You know, and then it ended obviously with Man United. It could have ended with Man United with Van Nistelrooy. Hits the bar.
Oh, yeah. I was in the stadium watching that.
And then Martin Cohen gives him a big chop in the neck. And then that was, you know, all that kind of stuff. But then it ended, obviously, Man United with Rooney. Hey, Rooney, you dived.
Yeah.
Dived. If I left my leg there, maybe. But like a matador, my leg went like that.
Yeah, it did.
And he was like, you know, he's flying in front, and the referee got conned. Back now, won't be able to do it.
Do you think that record is going to be broken?
49 games.
In the Premier League?
49 games on the bounce.
What?
I'm not too sure. 49 games on the bounce.
You don't think so?
I think 49 games is tough because we beat.
Even as good as the City side is.
Nottingham Forest had a go at it. They had 42, but that was over course of 2 seasons. They started halfway through a season and went for another season. Then went 42. We beat that. 49 games, whole season. I don't know. Who knows? You never know.
Wow.
It's very difficult though. Everything has to go your way as well.
Wow.
You got to have a good team, and you got to have a little
Especially
bit
in
of
the
luck.
Premier League, we know
Yeah, a
how
little bit of luck as well. A little bit of luck. And we did. And then we had amazing players from goalkeeper up to the front. You obviously know the players. It's just incredible. And fantastic manager and team, and everybody came in and did their job. And we just kept going. But it was incredible though. It's something that even if someone does it, we're the first to do that.
Yeah. I've got to ask.
I mean, it has happened across Europe, but there are like 30 or 40 clubs have done it in time. South American
Premier
teams.
League.
I think Milan's done it. Clubs all over the place have done it. So it's it's a special honour, and we still. I'd like a proper cup for it. I try to get a proper cup for everyone because it's only two. One Arsenal's got and the club's got. I want to get another one for all the lads. It's 20 years now and we still haven't got a film. Man United got 2 films out already. I'm plugging that saying, hey lads, get this film sorted out. Sort out your differences and let's get this film underway. You know who you are.
We'll love to
Just
see that.
get on with it, guys. Come on, let's get this film. Let's get together. Let's get this film going on. God.
Amazon and Netflix. If you're watching this,
let's dive outside football. I think we'll talk a lot about football. I mean, there's a bit of interest with you, isn't it, about politics and stuff like that.
Not so much politics, not anymore.
Not anymore.
No, that's 10 years ago, odd, yeah.
But there was this story about you obviously, you obviously think you don't get as much credit, that you deserve. And it comes down to something I read about you. You wanting to be, knighted. How, you think?
Well, I think for me, because I know some of the people have got stuff. So you like when you think about some people getting knighthoods or OBEs and MBEs, and then you look at like what's happened in their past and what they've done. You start saying, "Have you forgot what they did like 5 years ago? Was that relinquished them?" And now the OB, MBE, and then people know they're out there. Like, what you don't have to be whiter than white to kind of get an OB or an MBE. What's that? So many people. Come on, when you look at it, if you really look at it, you sit back and say, wow, some people actually really deserve it. But there's some, it's like, wow, you just basically paid your way in. Right place, right time. I mean, some people getting like, wardrobe kind of person, the OBMB. It's like, what is going on here? It's a farce. But I mean, when you look at it, okay, if you just look at football stuff, and some people, service to football. If you look at football, you say, first black captain to lift a cup at Wembley. First ever.
Wow.
In football.
Wow.
First black English player to score in the World Cup. That is mad, but yes. And the first black English player to score in a Champions League final. Those 3 things alone has moved football on for my culture.
Wow.
I mean, maybe a lot of people don't know about it, but only those 3 things. The first, not the second, not the 5th, not the 10th. I'm the first.
Yeah.
Those 3, and let alone all the other stuff from charity stuff and things like that, and champion all these kind of things. I find I get more celebrated abroad than in my own country, me personally.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah. So,
wow.
I'm receiving another award in Riyadh. I got another one, and also people not even in my culture, that other people are celebrating me.
That happens a lot, So
you can't be king in your own country.
Exactly. Yeah. You get appreciated more outside.
Yeah. Well, that's why you guys are here.
Certainly why I'm here, Sol.
It's not all about me, mate. We got you guys looking like, why are you guys here? What are you doing in Africa? What are you doing in Scotland then? No, we're doing in Dubai.
No,
you see?
I am appreciated in my country.
Yeah, but you're not doing it in Nigeria though, are you? You're not doing it back in London, you're not doing it in North East Scotland or whatever. Hebrides. You're doing it here.
I'm a big deal, I promise you, Sol. I'm a big deal. Listen, I'm conscious of time. Final question. I think when you look at the full body of work, life and football, it's about ups and downs.
It's life.
It is life. Yeah. That 2006 Champions League final you referenced.
You really want to talk about that?
Is that the biggest disappointment in your footballing career?
Other than World Cups and not going to the next round, yes, because we're 10 minutes away.
Yeah.
And then again, in VAR, Eto's first goal is offside. He's offside.
Is it?
Yeah, it's slightly offside. And we missed too many chances. We're 10 men down for, the majority of the game.
Yeah.
And we missed really good chances to kill the game off. And you need that little bit of luck, You need a little bit of luck.
Scored that goal. What a header it
Yeah,
was.
score a goal, but I'd rather not score a goal and we win.
Yeah,
to
of
be
course.
honest, to be honest.
Yeah.
And you would have become the first London team
Yeah.
to win a Champions
we
League.
are.
Of course. That's,
We got that record.
I'm sure that will come around sooner. In the end, if they keep working and working, that will come around to Arsenal sooner or later. But they have to stay on the right path, keep plugging away, keep getting the right players, and I think it will happen.
I think Arteta is the man then.
At the moment, it's good, looking good. I think he needs to.
He's been there now almost 5 years
He
now.
needs to kind of. He's built a really good culture there and things like that. Let's see. Now is I think even he will say it's time to deliver. He's got the team to do it now.
Yeah.
Do it.
did they win the league for you this season?
I think that would be great. I mean, if FA Cup and all that, European Cup would be great as well. But I think to really, put a medal, on his shoulder is I think he's definitely looking for the league. Yeah, for sure.
Well, listen, Sol, we could keep you all day, but you're a busy man and you've got better things to be doing.
And obviously I know the favour return if I need some.
Where to find us.
Yeah. I'm saying it live. Don't cut it. Don't cut it, mate.
Give me a call. Give me a call.
Yeah, I'll give it a call. Oh, yeah,
Give me
listen.
a call. Definitely not. Definitely not.
Yeah, maybe.
Never, Sol. Never.
Nah, definitely not.
Sol Campbell,
Not you.
legend that you are. Thank you so much for joining
Thank you
the
so
pod.
much.
Yeah, brilliant.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Winner is your reliable partner in the world of sports betting.
That was explosive, to say the least. We got him started there, John, on talking about the exit from Spurs and the why with Arsenal. And my goodness, we opened Pandora's box because, Sol, somewhat 23 years on, is rightfully, I've got to say this, having listened to him, I can understand he is rightfully still pissed off, hurt, disappointed at all that went on, because there's far more that went on than we were led to believe.
Exactly. It's incredible to listen to what went on and how the club were trying to get one over him, to have something to be able to negotiate.
Bonkers.
That is madness.
And I hope,
that is madness.
And if there are, and you're a Chelsea legend, I'm not sure if any Spurs fans listen or watch our podcast, but if they do, I'm really interested. And I know he moved to your big rivals, but having listened to Sol there, and I appreciate there are two sides to every story, but I do wonder if that has changed the opinion of one or two. Yes, they love their club, but Sol is a human being at the end of the day. If that did, even if 9/10 of that went on behind the scenes, then me as a Spurs fan, I wouldn't like it. Certainly don't like them. One of my best players moved to my great rival. But now, having watched or listened to that, I can understand.
You can understand why, exactly. And this is the best part of what we do, isn't it? Because a lot that people don't know about. This is why you have to watch and listen and hear from the horse's mouth what happened and how the club were trying to blackmail the player and have one over him to be able to negotiate and get him to accept a shit contract.
Yeah.
It's incredible. It's absolutely mind blowing. And I must give it to Sol. He stood his ground, and and again, the hate has been going on. It's been 25 years now? Yeah. The Spurs fans are still hating and still singing and still chanting his name. It's we have to move on at some point. You have to let he is a father, he's a man, he's somebody who has a life. You have to let go. And it was football. He made the decision. And if you listen and watch this episode, you will see the reason why he's decided to make that move. Obviously, he loved Spurs. He wanted to stay at Spurs. But if things like that happen, you don't trust the people that you work for. And trust is so important.
And it's an example, John, that sometimes when you're a young player with an affinity to a football club, you've come through the academy, sometimes they take you for granted.
They do.
And you look at financial fair play rules now, that teams are selling off their young stars who have grown up in the environment just because they
have to tick boxes,
pure profit. It's ticking a box. It's just, that's not the game. And listening
that's not
to
the game
there,
because you need the players who've come through the football club, because they know they are the soul, the life. They know the football club. You need those players to stay at the football club so that when you bring in the players, the foreign players from different parts of the world, you need those players to be able to show them how it's done, how the football club is done. That's why we had JT, we had Frank, of course, Frank was from West Ham, but we had JT who was there. The man was there all through and through. Because when you come in, he will give you the playbook of how things is done here. Whatever playbook you have, wherever you're coming from, it's gone. Rip it into pieces. This is Chelsea's playbook. You have to live by the rules. And that's something that when you see clubs now selling the young, the players who's come from the academy, who knows the football club, the identity of the football club is gone.
And your connection with the fans.
Exactly.
As well as gone. Final one. Honest answer. Does he get a knighthood?
I'll give him one.
Just for coming on the pod.
I'll give him one.
There were a couple of chauffeur issues with Sol as well. So, Sol, if you're watching or listening this back, thank you for your patience. And I'm with John. You can have that knighthood as far as I'm concerned. A big thanks to Sol Campbell, the latest guest on the Obi One podcast, made possible by BetWinner. Do subscribe. We're available on all your usual podcast platforms. We're available too on YouTube. You can check out our page, Obi One Podcast, and we're across social media as well. We'll be back with you very soon. It is the Obi One Podcast, made possible by BetWinner. See you soon, John.
BetWinner is your reliable partner in the world of sport betting.
BetWinner.